Alrighty, this is precise targeting by the entity that is indeed gang stalking. All right, engaging in the cartwheels, flying over while Ocean of Starbucks is inside of the venue, gang stalking with the rest. GPC, that is gang stalking, graffiti protection coatings, and the rest of the people of the state that are in what are their personal means of transportation, gang stalking at E Street and Euclid. This is in concert with the crossing of the path. This is while I move from the entrance area. Starbucks is gang stalking, and that's also proven while with the documentation of the fake sunrise and the fake sunset through the drive-through window and through the Euclid Avenue windows where Ocean is gang stalking in relevant position. A sex offender that is stalking you, keeping their back to you while they're targeting you, that's psychopathic. And Ocean, that's all of them engaged in stalking with light are going to be subject to mental examination when they are subject to what is federal prison. All right, this is the P.O.C. The employees are gang stalking in the parking lot. That's what he is, walking in, stalking with the Ontario International Airport that has no paths from the terminals. They're targeting, deviating miles away from the airport to be over the Arco parking lot, to be over in this location, also engaging nothing other than cartwheels. This is the entity that's stalking and is very much targeting me, which is what they were also engaging in when they committed kidnapping. Okay, they're engaging in this pattern of conduct while they are targeting in the drive-through. This is federal RICO. Targeting as employees is federal RICO. All right, and they're engaging in that. It's also federal RICO how businesses are gang stalking by, for example, the city of Ontario. For example, the entity that is using commercial vehicles coming up and picking up or coming up and doing any work like the city of Ontario does outside and around the perimeter, monitoring all the ways in which the entity is maliciously targeting. This is P.O.C. That says license 6 Robert Sam Edward 940 is the plane activity that's United Airlines. That's not doing a cartwheel. That's flying over the what is St. George Catholic Church. Right here, this is the path where Amazon Prime is flying over. Just so that you know, Starbucks is right over here gang stalking. I just don't focus in on it. I already prosecuted them. And they're gang stalking with the customers pacing in and out of the venue. The customers that engage in this while they maintain a ritual pertaining to my vagina. This is the entity that's gang stalking outside. License 8, because I'm outside. Okay, license 8LYH141. The transactions with Starbucks is the federal RICO case while the government is engaging in surveillance through the business of Starbucks with the employees of Starbucks who engaged in what is kidnapping. This is the pattern of conduct. They committed kidnapping July 4th, 2025. And they've been engaged in, as my documentation shows, before 2025. But 2025 is showing a rich engagement in the pattern of conduct with the city of Ontario under a fake sun that remained over the venue. And then you're also looking at prosecuting Starbucks while I don't come to Starbucks. And I show you that fake sun that remains over me apart from the venue after having documented that damning evidence, showing you the psychopath and the sex offender that is Ocean. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is 6:15 a.m. The city of Ontario following with the commercial planes. All right, that's the pattern of conduct. Psychopathic pacing using the planes. License 9PHA170. License 7CRP164. License 9XJY532. And the engagement in what is vagina monitoring is state action, as you can see. This is very dangerous conduct where UPS is crashing into buildings in Kentucky. It's not an accident. This is gang stalking conduct pursuant to what is the P.O.C. This is an entity that's engaged in targeting and engaging in what is taking the lives intentionally also upon what is state surveillance in the first place. These are suicidal people that are engaging in the pattern of conduct, stalking in commercial planes, pacing in concert with the city of Ontario. This is GPC actually. These are gang members. This is what they're doing at the Vos Church. GPC is gang stalking with the city of Ontario. That's hovering over Emporia Place, which is an entirely different path as well. That's GPC gang stalking with Starbucks. License plate 09979 Edward Ford. That's a Latino male. And the entity is engaging in this heavily documented pattern of conduct at Starbucks and with GPC, the company that is also admittedly gang stalking with the city of Ontario. Okay, these are not private companies. Starbucks is not a private company. Starbucks is engaged in all state action as well, and Starbucks is going to be federally prosecuted. And Starbucks is the candidate regarding what is removing the company altogether. They are not too large at all. This is the pattern of conduct. You are a threat to the public, and that's what Starbucks is. This is what you're looking at. This is what I've been documenting for years, and this is all because they want to monitor my vagina and wanted me to be quiet about it, like a rapist. Okay, that's what the company is. The company is a sex offender, and its employees are sex offenders who are stalking, keeping you under surveillance in California, in the United States, and throughout the country. And Starbucks is outside of the U.S., where they don't even have a constitution, and people do not know that Starbucks is a threat to their livelihood, to their liberty. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is currently, like I stated, 6:17 a.m. This is all going toward the employees who are going to prison. Patty, Brian, Ocean, Amelia, they're all going to federal prison. They committed kidnapping, and that's what these facts show, as I'm documenting right now. This is the entity that committed kidnapping while you're looking at psychotic means of pacing. Very mentally ill behavior, and Ocean is on the inside monitoring. Okay, you don't have any right to engage in what is summoning the police who are already keeping me under surveillance. That was a malicious iteration of harassment while I was sitting there documenting. Okay, and the entity is engaging in what is kidnapping in doing so. And that was the documented stalker, L. Edwards, who is also putting evidence against Ocean to have her locked up. L. Edwards is engaged in stalking me post the kidnapping, stalking me at the Starbucks at 706 West Hall, where the sun is not going to be over both of these venues. Certainly when it's rising and setting at 507 North Euclid Avenue. L. Edwards gang stalking me at the Ovid Family Community Library, the Ontario International Airport gang stalking me in Pomona, California, in Montclair, California, in Fontana, California. The entity is engaging in this P.O.C. Ocean and all the rest of them are going to prison while they're still gang stalking at 507 North Euclid Avenue. They're going from gang stalking as a barista to federal prison. That is a very real circumstance that they're going to, and they are not the only ones. The Demons gang stalking in the library, they're doing the same thing with the government. That is telling on them. Very, very clear testimony about the gang stalkers who are the people of the state. And you're going from stalking in a library, maintaining gang stalking around book stacks to prison. You're going to federal prison. And this is a reality that terrorists in California have yet to face. I documented all these license plates in this parking lot and in the parking lot of Stater Brothers. Excuse me, in the parking lot of Starbucks over here. This is P.O.C. It is currently 6:19 a.m. That psychopathic pacing, flying over the building, crossing path with light activity, deviating closer over here as I go from the front of the store to the back. That's the entity that's targeting. Starbucks is targeting, and the employees are targeting, and they committed kidnapping. Refer to my documentation of the egregious violence that Starbucks inflicted, including Ocean, a violent homosexual predator, keeping my vagina under surveillance with regard to her obsession with me. And their obsession is leading to what is hostility because they're mad as I tell the world that they're obsessed with me. They're demons. And kidnapping was supposed to accomplish what is stealing from me. Not only are you not accomplishing that, but you're going to prison. And literally, this is a massive RICO case where Starbucks will literally no longer exist, because that's how much more important your American rights, your civil rights, your human rights are than some company that thinks that they can keep your genitalia under surveillance and make a lot of money and gain popularity doing it. Starbucks, like any other company, is facing being removed altogether as a terrorist in the United States. There's no such thing as a company that's more popular than what is the un-American terrorism, the grounds upon which you will cease to exist corporately. This is P.O.C. Those are a bunch of demons inside of Starbucks, gang stalking. They're mentally ill. And that's a very serious matter. This is P.O.C. It is currently 6:20 a.m. This is what Starbucks is doing to you in the city near you, wherever you're at. Starbucks is criminally monitoring you with the government. P.O.C.